Welcome to the 1457 podcast from Scotland, where golf began, a digital platform where we try to inspire golfers near and far to come to play golf in Scotland. You'll find all you need to know through our great photography, short films and stories, and of course our podcasts at our website, scotlandwheregolfbegan.com. You'll find us on social at Where Golf Began and Facebook at Scotland Where Golf Began. As you guys know, this is the 1457 podcast, and we're just beginning to tell you about the 1457 Society, which you folk can join and come and play golf with all the rest of us who enjoy golf in this paradise of Scotland. The 1457 Society you can join as a founding member for £49. You'll get early notification of any outings or things we're doing, and you'll get numbers of little benefits. Or you can join for free. But you'll find out a little bit later, but you can still come and join us. And you'll find everything you need to find and the 1457 block on the website, scotlandwheregolfbegan.com. But first, for the podcast, our golfing nuts, Fife's finest, co-pilot Dave Kerr. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Markham. Very well indeed. How are you?
I'm getting myself all upside down and confused and confuddled and whatever, but that's not a surprise with a duck without a drink. But other than that, life is good. And then we have Roscoe Flanagan, our co-pilot Scuzzy Jambo, who's pressing all the buttons and doing the recordings and makes life happen. How are you, Roscoe?
Malcolm, thank you. I'm very well. Pleasure to be back as always.
And I got advised not to mention the Kilmarnock Heart score because that would upset the world and start the podcast off on a very...
Well, Malcolm...
I know it was a couple of weeks ago, but, it's been a tough season for Killy.
Hopefully, by the time everyone listens to this, we've moved on one way or another. But no, it takes... I've been doing this podcasting and supporting Heart of Midlothian for a long, long time. Precedes my time in Scotland. So, we've got thick skin.
Not as thick as a Kilmarnock supporter. It's been a tough whole year for us. Anyway, to tonight, welcome to Greg McCrae, Mr. Arran. Golf to ice cream, whiskey, chocolate and oatcakes. Greg has lived in Arran all his life. He's got a handicap of about 3, which he's had for many, many years. He's born and bred and lived in Arran almost all his life with a wee outing to Glasgow, which is maybe tell us about. And his mum and dad are Arran through and through. Welcome, Greg.
Malcolm, good evening. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Dave, Ross, good to see you both. Looking forward to an hour of talking how good the west coast of Scotland is for golf, if not maybe the best coast for golf.
Well, he's punching in there already. He's out a wee dig at me already. We're like this. Oh, but Jamie, darling, will be proud of you.
Is that phrase not reached you over there, Malcolm, that west is best?
No, I call it the wet coast.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Mind you, I'm a Mallig boy and Troon's my home, but I never managed to get to Arran, which is slightly crazy. A little birdie tells me somebody else on this foursome is quite into finding golf balls.
If you're referring to myself, Malcolm, yes, I do collect golf balls. It's been a wee hobby for me for the last 4 or 5 years throughout the winter. I'll actually just get the waterproofs on in the depths of December and take my wee torch out and see how many golf balls I can find. And what I actually do with them, I keep the good ones for myself, but there's always about 2,000 or 3,000 just sit in my driveway, all cleaned and all sorted. And all my friends and anyone that's visiting the island will come up and just help themselves to any golf balls, and they'll just put a wee donation through my letterbox, and once a year we give it to a local cancer charity on the island. So it's all non-for-profit, all for charity, and it's just a wee hobby that kind of grew and grew. So yeah, if you're ever looking for some golf balls, Malcolm, on Arran, there'll be 2,000 or 3,000 at any one time sitting in my garden.
Fantastic. So I think 7 golf courses, 95 holes and about 500 golfers in the island. So where is Arran for those listening all across the world and on the beach in Cabo and wherever else they might be? Tell us where Arran is and what it is.
So Arran's located in the southwest of Scotland. It is the furthest south island of all the islands off the west coast. It is situated in the Firth of Clyde, and it is sandwiched between the Ayrshire coast, with all the golf courses of Prestwick, Troon, Turnberry, and the likes, Western Gales, and on the other side of it is the Mull of Kintyre. So we're kind of sandwiched right in the middle of these two golfing meccas, and Arran is classed, I class Arran as a fantastic stepping stone from going from either Kintyre to Ayrshire or Ayrshire to Kintyre. Rather than doing the big long 4 or 5 hour drive from Troon, say, round to Macrahanish, it's so much easier just to jump on a ferry, come and play some golf in Arran, and then take the other ferry off the other side and go and play all the golf in Kintyre. The population of the island is about 4,500 people during the kind of winter time. Because we're very tourist based, at any point in the summer, the population of Arran is probably double. So there'll be 8,000-9,000 people on Arran every day, maybe from the beginning of April right through to the end of September. Tourism is certainly our biggest economy on the island, and without the tourists, a lot of us wouldn't have jobs on the island. Arran in general is about 430 kilometres squared, so it's not the biggest island. But to have 7 golf courses on it on such a small space is just fantastic. It's made the game of golf so accessible for anybody that's living on Arran. Yeah, and Arran's kind of nickname is Scotland in miniature. Arran really kind of mimics, in a smaller version, the landmass of Scotland. The North Island is very mountainous, a bit like mainland Scotland, and then down the south of the island, it's very low-lying, kind of more green pasture, kind of fields sort of thing. Again, a bit like southern Scotland. So yeah, we're known as Scotland in miniature. As you said, we've got 7 golf courses in the island, 2 distilleries. The perfect place to come for a golfing vacation.
What more could you want? What more could you want? What more could you want? I've been very lucky twice, I think. Would have been 2018 and 2019, I think it was, to come and do the Arran Golf Marathon and play all the golf courses in a day. Starting at what, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I think we usually started at Whiting Bay, and then played the 3 18-hole courses, Whiting Bay, Lamlash, and then Brodick, and then the 3 9s. I think in the order would be, I think it was Corriel, Lochranza, then McCrae Bay, and then finish at Shiskin, the 12th. But so has Lochranza moved to 11 holes since then? Because I thought it was 9 back then.
Lochranza's now an 11-hole pitch and putt.
Aye, okay.
The actual proper name for the place is Lochranza Campsite, and they have a brilliant pitch and putt there. It's 11 holes of just under 100 yards, and it's perfect. Scratch golfers will enjoy it, families will enjoy it, beginners will enjoy it. It's a great place just to go and spend a couple hours. It's in a stunning setting up in Lochranza. You'll know yourself, Dave, if you've been there.
And I remember the surround of the course, the hills and the mountains that are around you. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I remember and sharing the fairways with deer as well. Just deer wandering around the fairways.
You would be very, very unlucky to play Lochranza and not have a wee deer kind of wander across the fairway in front of you. And they're very tame, so they don't actually run away. They're more likely just to stand and watch you and kind of get in the way of your golf ball rather than bolt once they kind of clap eyes on you. So yeah, it's a lovely scenic little golf course, and it's a great wee addition to Arran for sure.
Okay. Could you talk us through the other courses, Craig? To me, it feels like they've all got their own kind of different personalities. So
yeah, absolutely. So we have 3 18-hole golf courses, the 3 that you mentioned, Brodick, Lamlash, and Whiting Bay. They're all located on the east side of the island. Brodick's where the 2 main ferries come into the island. Brodick's a perfect day trip golf course because it's only 5 minutes walk along from the ferry terminal. You don't have to bring any transport onto the island. It's a lovely 18-hole golf course that meanders round Brodick Bay. Slight inland. I wouldn't call it a proper links. There is a few linksy holes on it. And then it kind of goes inland a wee bit. In May 1998, I don't know if any of you have ever been over before 1998, Brodick used to have 3 holes across the road from the clubhouse, 3 par 3s, but they took them away and they created 3 new golf holes, which is probably the 3 best holes on the golf course. 5, 6, 7. Dave, you've probably played them, so the 5th is the par 5. Yeah. And kind of they're more upland, inland holes. So yeah, a really good test of golf is Brodick. It is a very flat golf course. It's the longest golf course in the island. It would be one of the courses that you'll probably utilise most of the clubs in the bag. We moved slightly south to Lamlash and Whiting Bay, 2 brilliant 18-hole golf courses. They are both, unlike Brodick, Brodick's very flat. Whiting Bay and Lamlash are very similar in they're built on a bit of a hillside. You will certainly feel your legs after playing 18 holes at either both of them. And fair play to you, Dave. If you've played both of them probably before 8 o'clock one morning, that's quite a good achievement. But you get the 2 tough golf courses out of the way. Whiting Bay has one of the craziest greens, the 17th green that you'll probably ever have experienced, if you remember that. No greenkeeper would get away with creating a green like that anymore. And guys, for those that are familiar with it, it's pretty much St Andrews Himalayas putting green on a golf course where you can get completely stymied with a really good shot. I think the greenkeeper can only put the pin in 2 positions on the green. Any other place would just be classed as unfair. So, yeah. So we've got the 3 golf courses. They're the only 3 18-hole golf courses in the island.
But as you say, I think your Brodick is such a contrast from those other 2. Like Lamlash feels like you're always changing elevation. You're going down or you're coming up, and Whiting Bay. I remember for those marathons we started at Whiting Bay, so it's 4 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark. You're using flashing golf balls, and you're hitting straight uphill. Like straight up, like it must be 30-degree incline or something up that first fairway.
Right from the word go, absolutely. But the great thing about elevation in golf courses is, Dave, that they provide you with great views once you get to the top. And Lamlash and Whiting Bay both have some of the most stunning views that we have on the island, which adds to a golf course. If you can add views to a golf course, it's just going to make it that much more enjoyable. And even with the elevation change, there's surprisingly few blind shots on both, well, certainly Lamlash. There is the odd blind shot, but as we move around the island to Shiskin in a wee while, there's a lot more blind shots at Shiskin than there is at Lamlash, and there's nowhere near the elevation change at Lamlash. Lamlash is a great test of golf because Arran, all the golf courses in Arran are quite short. If you get the chance to play off the back tees at any of the golf courses, it completely changes the golf course. So Lamlash, Whiting Bay and Brodick are far better golf courses off the back tees. If you ask nicely at any of the starters and the course is not busy, they will have no problem letting you play off the meadow tees. If it's busy, they might ask you just to kind of hang fire and just stay on the front tees. Because when we use the meadow tees, a lot of the previous, there's a bit more crisscrossing with when you're walking back to tees and you're hitting over the previous greens and stuff. So, but yeah, if you ever get a chance, ask nicely at the starters box and ask if you can play off the back tees, and you'll have a wonderful experience. Staying on the East Coast, we have a lovely wee 9-hole course, Corrie, which is now getting more and more of a reputation of, if you come to Arran, you must play Corrie. There was maybe 10 years ago, Corrie was just classed as a backyard pitch and putt course. And then they got a new greenkeeper, Ewan, who's very passionate about golf and is a very good golfer. And Dave, you know what the course is like. It is got views that just say a golf course. with the backdrop of just Glen Sannox and the mountains in the background, and then add in the fact that Ewan has got the greens rolling about 10 and a half in the stimp meter, and just it takes such good pride in the place. It has fast become one of the best values round of golf you can have on Arran. We'll probably touch on it later, but at the moment they're asking for £15 for 9 holes and £25 to play all day. Play as many holes as you want for £25. It's crazy value.
And it's just as you said, Greg. It's just stunning. It's it sits in kind of almost a bowl, and it's at least 2-3 sides. You're kind of up relatively. It feels like you're in a quarry.
You step up on the first tee and you're not really too sure of what you've come to. And if once you get to that first green, the whole course just opens up in front of you with the mountains in the background, and you just see folk take their phones out just to take pictures of it. It's one of the most popular places that folk will take a photo of a golf course on Arran is from the first tee for the first green at Corrie Golf Club. We've talked about Lacranza as we move around the island. It's right at the north of the island. An 11-hole pitch and putt. It used to be a 9-hole golf course, but they just struggled to maintain it a wee bit. And it is built on a campsite where they're getting a lot of families, and families just a pitch and putt is just the perfect scenario for them. They rock up on their holidays. The campsite's got clubs you can hire. I think you pay £13 and off you go. You've had an hour or two of real good enjoyment. And as I mentioned earlier on, beginners love it. Scratch golfers enjoy it. It's got its place on the Rota of Arran golf courses for sure.
Yeah, no, it just seems to me that I play a bit of hickory golf. That would be hickory golf heaven where you are.
Massively, Malcolm. In fact, nearly all the golf courses in Arran you could say would be hickory heaven, but Corrie, Locranza, McCrae for sure would be where you would have a shot at the hickories.
Yeah, I'll certainly push it around hickory world that's not a bad place to come and go and play, because these guys, hickory guys, are all good fun. They're all collectors, so they're not looking for the big shiny thing. They're looking for something real and that they can enjoy in their whiskey and the company and all the rest of it.
A day at Corrie with hickories just sounds unbelievable.
Dave, you should be playing hickories because you don't need a whole set of 14 clubs. I mean, what you have a putter, couple of 3 irons.
I'm gonna struggle to maintain any kind of handicap this year with the clubs I've got. Never mind hickories, Malcolm. Come on.
You're filling me with confidence for our
He's gone full
No.
blades.
He's my partner telling me he's going to struggle. Come on, man.
It'll come good. I'm just struggling a wee bit. I'm having a moment at the moment. I'm just. So it'll come good. Early season.
Anyway, Greg, crack on.
Sorry.
So on the west coast we have 2 golf courses. McCrae, which is a 9-hole golf course. It's a lovely little golf course. It has struggled a wee bit in the last few years, but this year I can kind of, when I was over there a few weeks ago, I can see a bit of a change, and it's become, tidal erosion has been a bit of a nightmare for some of the golf courses on Arran, and McCrae actually had one of the best opening holes on the island, and they have since lost that. Too many winter storms literally took it away. So they've had to kind of create a new first hole. But again, there's a wee tea room there. It is very popular with families again, beginners. Some of these golf courses in Arran are perfect for beginners because you're not getting pushed with people from behind. You can go out and just relax and just practice. Some of the courses in the mainland have got such a full tee sheet. It's very hard to go out and practice your putting, practice your chipping. It's very much encouraged over on Arran rather than kind of frowned upon.
And tell me, Greg, that final green is still as it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Dave, that is the only
Describe-
part of the golf course that is now on that side of the road. And guys, for those that haven't played McCrae, the 9th hole is a par 4 of about 265 yards. And maybe 20 yards short of the green, the main road that goes round Arran dissects the fairway.
It's just mad. It's mad. It's amazing and mad. But
And not just that, but beyond the green, 5 yards beyond the green is the beach, which is out of bounds. I have seen many a golfer hit the road straight over the top of the green and end up on the beach. And it's such a perfect length of hole, 265 yards, because it entices the longer hitters in to have a wee go at it. Because there is a bit of, it's not a straight fairway. You either have to lay up 120 yards, 130 yards short of the green, or you go full bung, take the driver out, try and bounce over the road, and just hope you get down there and you find it. It's a brilliant golf hole. Dave, last year, through my very kind of Golf Arran thing, I asked 20 of my friends that have kind of lived on Arran for most of their life to name their best 18 holes on the island. And the 9th at McCrae won the 9th. It was the one at McCrae. Everyone just loves it. It's such a great hole.
Such great fun. Yeah. And as you say, just, there's so many different ways you could try and play the hole, but the sensible play is just to lay it up and wedge something on and, take a
absolutely. Yeah. On paper, it's an easy par 4 to finish, but in your head, it's not, because your heart overrules your head. You want to play the glory shot to finish your round.
Absolutely.
You're saying that. I'm just hearing Dave Kerr say you lay it up and chip it on. I've never seen Dave Kerr dip it on. Yeah, but.
And again, in those 2 days we were playing at all the holes on Arran in a single day, I did not lay it up and chip it on. It's a sensible thing to do, but that's not me.
We never do that. You don't go there for one visit to lay up.
Exactly.
Well, you should. But you don't. And we're all the same, and we all know not to do it, especially in links golf. And it was hearing Neil Hampton on another radio golf show podcast and talking about the holes not being too long, because all the fun is around about the greens. It's all the getting up, onto the green, chipping around the greens, and the putting that's so exciting in Scottish golf and links golf. It's not the bombing it down the fairway and hitting a 350-yard drive. And
I couldn't agree more with that. I really enjoy there's courses out there that can become a real slog if you're taking a driver and you nail a driver and you're left with a 4-iron, and then you step up in the next par 4 and it's the same and the same. The short par 4s are the way forward, like the one that we've just talked about, where you can go for the green or you can lay back, and then it's all about the pitching and the putting.
Well, Tom Dirk's a great convert to that, and he renaissance the 5th short par 4, the 10th. I'm talking about the coastline, not the Scottish Open. Next, it's iterants of a layout. I mean, these short par 4s where the risk reward, you can drive the green, but if you don't, you get in trouble. So it's
massive. And we've got one of the best, I feel, in the next course that I'm going to mention, Shiskin. They definitely have a great risk reward. So yeah, our 7th golf course on the island, Shiskin, and it is the golf course that brings most visitors to the island. It is the golf course that's the most well known, pretty much, around Scotland, around the UK, around the world. It gets such good reviews at the moment. It's riding in a high. It is just, it's crazy. I would always just want somebody to come and experience Shiskin once in their life. You're pretty much playing 12 holes for a start, which there's only a handful of 12-hole golf courses on the world. And a lot of people just think 12 is the perfect number. I am going to be very biased here because I am a member at Shiskin, and 12 is the perfect number for me. For lifestyles and stuff, you can play 12 holes in just under 2 hours, and then that's you done. If you want to go again, you play another 12 holes. You get 24 holes done within 4 or 5 hours. Normally, some of the big courses in Scotland, you would take 5.5 hours to play 18 holes. So, Shiskin is definitely the course that most people talk about, and rightfully so. You pretty much out the 12 holes, you will experience a blind shot on possibly 9 of the holes. So if you don't like blind shots, probably Shiskin's not a golf course for you.
Sounds a bit Prestwick-esque.
It's crazy. It's crazier than Prestwick.
Because Prestwick started at 12 holes.
It was a 12.
Yeah. But the stretch of golf between the 3rd hole and the 10th hole at Shiskin wouldn't be out of place in any links golf course in the whole of Scotland. They have some really good par 3s. The 3rd hole, you're literally just hitting up to the top of a cliff. It's 125 yards. It's a wedge. And all you've got is a marker post at the top of a hill to aim for.
And I remember, I think the first time I played it, Greg, because there's also a flag up there that you raise to show that, I think, is it you show that the green's free, or...
When you're on, there's an orange flag that sits right on the cliff edge.
Yeah.
And when you're on the green, you're supposed to take the flag out so that people see.
So obviously the first time I played it, I thought that was the post. So I'm aiming for the flag.
Well signpost, and so many people aim for this yellow post. You literally, if you're 6 inches to the left of the yellow post, the yellow flag, you'll never find your golf ball again.
I think I think I ended up pretty close to the 4th green, actually, but yeah.
So that's the start of the fun, and then the 4th hole is again another 130-yard par 3 that literally you're straight back down off the plateau you've just come up onto the top of. It is a wedge or a 9-iron in the summer, and you stand there and you can see right across the Kilbrannan Sound to Kintyre. You can see Campbelltown, you can see Devar down at Navarrete. On a nice day, you could just stand there all day and just take it in. It's stunning. It really is. And in the winter, though, it's not such a stunning place to be standing. It's 130 yards. I think last month I hit a 3-wood into that hole at one coin. But yeah, that's just winter golf for you in Scotland.
What's Shiskin's full and proper title?
Shiskin Golf and Tennis Club.
So, lots of tennis played?
There's 2 tennis courts there. They're floodlit. They are very popular in the summer. Shiskin has 700 members, but only 120 of them live on the island. Arran is obviously hugely populated with holiday homeowners, and especially Shiskin. So a lot of the bunties from the mainland, they really enjoy playing tennis. So the tennis is very popular in the summer. It probably sits quite empty in the winter because none of our locals can be bothered doing too much exercise. Yeah, there's 2 tennis courts there. There's a bowling green there. There's an AstroTurf bowling green. So we've got it all.
And you can play 12 holes, lunch and 12 holes.
Absolutely, yes. They do a 24-hour rate, day rate, they call it. At the moment, that's £70 for 24 holes. There's the clubhouse right on the 12th green there that you can stop, have your lunch. And because it's only 12 holes, you can still do that in a day trip. Easy, play 24 holes.
And good,
I would say as well, Malcolm, the selection of cakes and pastries in the clubhouse is unrivaled. I think I cannot think of many better clubhouses. That there's obviously a lot of baking going on with the staff there, but the scones,
scones.
I remember I had a pastel de nata. So the Portuguese have made it to Arran, which was sublime. A real, the kind of short crust pastry with a kind of baked custard in it. Oh, stunning.
Portuguese or Spanish?
I think it's Portuguese. Pastel de nata. Ross, you're the cultured one among us. Can you help us out here?
Obrigado.
Now, the reason I say Spanish is, of course, the Armada, when the English duffed up the Spanish, they sailed round the whole of Scotland. So right up on the Outer Isles of Scotland, you'll see quite a lot darker skinned folk, because that's the Spanish were shipwrecked off there. So all the way down the west coast, there were Spanish ships that were shipwrecked, and quite a heavy Spanish influence on the west coast of Scotland, especially.
They brought their custard-based pastries. Maybe.
So good wines. Good wines and good beers there at the Shiskin Golf Club?
No.
Shiskin Golf Club is not licensed to Malcolm.
Partly the reason for my question.
You're more than welcome to take your own. They don't mind you taking your own if you're going in there for lunch or if you're going there for dinner. But yeah, it's not a licensed premises.
I heard somebody saying this the other day when I was doing a bit of research that it hasn't been. Occasionally, people will be advised that if you in the buggy, you could just nip off the course to the shop and load up a bit of beer and bounce back on the course. Is that an apocryphal tale, or is that true?
I think what most people would do is make sure they had enough before they started, rather than having to go to the shop through in midway. But I'm sure that has happened in the past.
I have to at this point mention the wonderful Sheila Gilmore.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, because when we did the Arran Golf Marathon, we then finished at Shiskin on the 12th green, like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. Having been going since 5 o'clock in the morning, and had not stocked up on our own libations, and into the clubhouse, and Sheila Gilmore appears with a couple of cases of Tennant's Lager, which I think I could have married the woman at that point, to be honest with you. It was exactly what I needed after like 18 hours on the golf course. So
yeah, the clubhouse might not be licensed, but I guarantee you there's always a fridge full of beer in the back if you know the right people.
You'll never be short of a wee cup of something in the Highlands or in the west coast of Scotland, that is for sure. And much as I love my golf on the east coast, the welcome on the west coast, the welcome in Scotland's fantastic anyway, but the welcome on the west coast is just a bit different. It's just like Dave is explaining, if you need something, someone will get it, someone will sort you, and you'll go away happy with a big smile on your face.
Dave, I don't know if you're familiar, but Sheila now runs the Visit Arran organisation, which is really kind of the organisation that tries to promote the island to everybody. So yeah, Sheila does a wonderful job at promoting the island. It's very difficult to try and promote everything, but she does a great job at it. Like she'll promote golf, she'll promote the distilleries, she'll promote all the hotels, all the bed and breakfasts, all the cafes, restaurants. It's just one package that she has to kind of be seen to, supporting them all, and she does brilliant at it. She's always away at trade shows, she's always away in the mainland at events, traveling, and all she wants to do is talk about how good Arran is, which is brilliant. We need people like Sheila that's going away to do stuff like that, for sure.
Greg, I was going to ask you, and that was an appropriate entry point. You talk about Sheila promoting Arran, but there are two people in my small but close contact list in my phone, and they're both from the West Coast, and they both represent golf. One of them is you, and jokingly, I put you in there as the Lord Mayor of Arran, and the other person I'll talk about in a minute because he's related to my first ever experience visiting Arran. But I think that you are single-handedly one of probably the biggest asset. Sheila is, up there. You're up there. The work that you do on promoting golf on Arran and Arran itself is world class, and you just go about your business and do it. And some of the people that you know and have come across just by being you and inviting them to Arran is, when I know you quite well now, and I look back and I just think you're an absolute force. And some of my best experiences in Scotland have been on the couple of visits to Arran. I grew up 15,000 miles away from Arran, not 15 miles away, and I've been there a couple of times, Malcolm, by the way. And you were a part of that. What was it that ticked the switch for you to say, I'm going to start getting behind Arran and promoting it? What was the moment that, you sat back and thought, I'm going to buy a drone, for you as an example? But, what was that? What happened?
That's a good question, Ross. I've lived in Arran all my life, so I'm very passionate about the island. It's somewhere that it's the only place I've really known that I've grown up in. I can see I can see changes in it. I can see that the island needs some good publicity at times, and everybody does it in their own different ways, Ross. It's like I maybe do it in the golf scene, but there's so many of us on Arran that will dedicate a lot of their own time to promote the island in different ways. I just seem to be the one that has fallen into the kind of golf category. And the reason I kind of did that is our mutual friend that we have to mention, Jim Hartzell. Like, Jim has been such a great promoter of West Coast golf, but Arran in particular, over the last 10 years, Jim just raves about the island. And I can't think of how many people he has sent to this island saying, you need to go and play Shiskin, you need to go and play Corrie. So maybe 5-6 years ago, I got to know Jim really well. And it's just one of these, I met Jim through, like I met most of you guys, through social media at first. And Jim came to the island and we had a pint together that led on to let's go for a game of golf together, let's keep in touch together. And then I noticed that Jim was getting a lot of people messaging him asking, right, where do I stay when I go to Arran? How do I get to Arran? And Jim was coming to me, listen, I've got a guy here from Michigan or Chicago wanting to know the best way to get to Arran. What should I tell him? And what I was saying to Jim is, Jim, just tell them to message me or give them my number and I'll help them out. So then it became, I'm like, oh, there's just something here. There's just something that I feel passionate about that I could help other people come to the island, which will make it easier for people to come to the island, which then means more people will come. Because the easier you make it for somebody to do something, the more folk will do it. So really through Jim started sending people my direction and I started getting involved with Jim, and Jim's very well connected through the world of golf. And then he was bringing some big names down with him and he was promoting Arran with big names like No Laying Up come over and did some stuff on it. And Arran just started getting into a wee bit of a crest of popularity in the golf scene. So I'm kind of like, we just need to keep this going. We need to keep Arran in the forefront of this. East Coast isn't the best place to play golf. It's a great place to go play golf, but it's expensive. The West Coast is very, very much a cheap place to play golf. It has got nearly as many good golf courses as the East Coast, but it's a lot more affordable. Would you agree, Malcolm?
I think there's a lot of very affordable golf right across Scotland, and one of the sadnesses, there are these great golf courses that are charging quite a lot of money, and they're becoming out with the range of our traditional markets, which are Scotland, England, Scandinavia. It's a lot of stuff is just being geared to America, and that's not what Scottish golf's all about. Scottish golf in Scotland's in your DNA. You were brought up to do it and to play it, and it's not been expensive. So
I certainly I'm not experienced enough. I'm sure Dave certainly is, and yourself, Malcolm, is that there's definitely a shift in patterns that more and more people want to come and play more unknown golf courses rather than want to come over and play the 5 biggest named golf courses in Scotland. I think people want to still play the big golf courses, but they want to supplement a trip to play a couple of the big courses with either some hidden gems or golf courses that aren't as popular as others. And that then just brings the kind of smaller clubs or the lesser known clubs up a notch, that then the whole Scottish package becomes so much more affordable to anybody that wants to come and play golf, not just Americans that can afford it, not just Scandinavians that can afford it. You want people from Scotland even to be able to travel more and experience more golf in their home country. I'm one of these people that 2 or 3 years ago, I had played more golf out with Scotland than I had inside Scotland. And that I'm mid-40s. That's not right that I have nearly played more golf courses out with my own country when Scotland is the country with the majority of the best golf courses in the world. And the style of golf course that I love links golf. And over the last few years, I've just grown to just think that I just want to continue to play links golf for the rest of my days.
a lot of the stuff we did with Scotland where Golf Began at the beginning, Visit Scotland organised, no laying up, but they came to us when our name was slightly different, but we organised that trip for them. Then we put out a thing that Eric Anders Lang won. He came across, did that. Cookie Jar in the early days did a lot of stuff for us. Andy Sullivan did a lot. We did 18 programs on smaller Scottish golf courses. So we spent a lot of time promoting the small golf courses as Scotland Golf Began and doing that. Dave's group of tour operators, Sigtoa, are beginning to do that now and pushing out a bit more. This is not who's good or bad, but we did it because we saw that as a thing we should be doing. Also, I think, Dave, you can speak on this. Tour operators started doing that because they saw it as a good thing, but also because availability at these big golf courses, irrespective of the times, is getting harder and harder. So, likes are coming. I mean, I was trying to think the day we do out in Perthshire, it's Rose Markey and Fortrose.
Pomri and St. Fillins.
St. Fillins, yeah. I mean, those two little 9-hole courses, that's one of my favourite days out in the year. I mean, they're not the most outrageous, expensive golf courses, but play those as a bunch of mates, mix of boys and girls. You have a great crack. 9 holes here, 2 older clubhouses, one a little bit more swanky than the other one, but none particularly swanky. But what they have is heart and soul, because the people in them have heart and soul. And that's the kind of stuff that a lot of the people coming across. So all you guys listening, go to the website, go and look at that golf page. We'll link to every single golf course in Scotland pretty well, I think. And there's so much great golf to come and play in Scotland. So, something like Arran, a bit harder to get to, but not impossible. I mean, do you do much helicopter stuff at the moment? Because, as that comes off, it's not really hard for someone to fly on a helicopter, play golf the day and go away again.
Now, can I jump in there? Sorry, I don't want to cut Greg off for you. But to that point, like you said, it might be harder to get to. My first experience to Arran was, I was on the West Coast. I played Western Gales and I played at Dundonald. Stayed there overnight. And I mentioned the Lord Mayor of Arran, but the other great man, out with Jim Hartzell, but the other great man is the King of Kintyre, as I refer to him, and that can only be Robbie Wilson. Robbie had said, come on, we'll play some golf together. So I got up in the morning at Dundonald, packed up, had breakfast, checked out. I was on the ferry. I was on the first tee at Shiskin for 11 o'clock. Robbie was there to meet me. I'd never met Robbie before. We were done. In the pro shop, I met Hamish, a fellow photographer. Greg, you've got the one of my calendars there on your wall. Hamish was probably the one that inspired me to take my photos and print them and put them into a calendar, because Hamish sells these little Shiskin calendars there for £10 in an envelope. We played our 12 holes, at Shiskin. And we had some Adelaide people that joined us. Robbie said, what are you doing? You by yourselves? Come and join us. I'll show you around. Fantastic. Robbie says, Ross, let's get across to Machrihanish tonight. If we get there and get the next ferry, we'll get 18 holes in at Machrihanish. So we got off the course at Shiskin, drove up to Locranza, got the ferry across to Clonaigue, drove down to Machrihanish, finished the day with 18 holes at Machrihanish, and that was a day. And it was so easy. And it was, Robbie is such a great ambassador for the West, as you are, Greg. But I went to Shiskin thinking that Shiskin was the only course on the island. I was naive to that. I didn't know. It was early. It was before I moved here. So it was well before I lived here. And it was Robbie that said, no, there's several other courses. So subsequently, when we were on a holiday here, again, before we lived here, I was with my wife and we went to Oban. And we had no plans. We were just driving around on holidays. And I said, well, why don't we do this to go home? So we're in Oban, which is 3 hours from Edinburgh. We drove down to Clonaigue again, got on the ferry back to Locranza. Now, this story is one of the most wonderful stories which embodies everything about Scotland that you love. This little story, for me, it meant a lot, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. We were bolting down the road from the highway down to the Clonaigue ferry, and there was a ferry at, let's just say, 11 o'clock. And as we crested the hill, the hill as you get over to go down to the ferry car park there,
yep.
I can see the drawbridge of the ferry just raising. We've missed the ferry. And we're like, and, the ferry goes across and then back. So it's like an 45 minutes or an hour to wait till the ferry comes back. And we're like, we've missed the ferry. That's going to put us not under time pressure on holidays, but we might not have had enough time to get back to Edinburgh. So we've started in Oban. We're now here at this ferry. But what the ferry did, the ferry saw us. And you know what it did? It lowered the drawbridge, pulled back up, lowered the drawbridge, and let us back on. That's unheard of. But the ferry raised its ferry and it was away, and it pulled back up and let us on. It's insane. So then we had the day on Arran. We went to Lacranza and we drove around there. We went to the fragrance factory. We did a few other things. And it was then when I remembered that Robbie had told me about all these golf courses. So I had the drone. I took some drone pictures of Brodick. We went into Brodick and had lunch. Then we drove down to Whiting Bay and we drove down to Lamlash, and I put the drone up and took a couple of pictures, just basic pictures, which I shared with you subsequently, Greg. And I think that was my...
I have used all those pictures that you have given me.
And it was an absolute pleasure. And they were just like quick, just have some fun. But I took one of the most wonderful photos that I can remember. And it's not a great photo, but we're at Whiting Bay. And again, another unique thing that happens in Scotland, and it's not everywhere, but the Whiting Bay putting green. The community putting green. And they must have been 85 years old, two women, 2 men, 3 young kids, and a runner who was hanging out of the fence, talking to all of them, putting in the middle of the day, in the afternoon, having a putt. 2 10-year-olds and 4 octogenarians. And I took a photo of them all, and it was just unbelievable just to stand back and think, this is what this is all about. This is why this place is so special. And that was our day. We drove around, went back to the ferry, back across to Ardrossan, and we were back in Edinburgh that night for post dinner. It's not that hard to get to, and it's easy, and you can make a great day of a couple of days and do all of that, and it's great. And that was my great experience. The other great experience was coming back on the ferry with you guys from the Open, Greg.
When the Open was at Troon, absolutely.
Yeah. So we had yourself, we had you, and I think was your wife and your daughter, TC from No Laying Up there, yeah. And the ferry was absolutely hooching, and it was packed, and everyone. It felt like everyone on the ferry just came up and talked to all of you guys, had a laugh. It was like one of those comedy show type of experience, but it was just everyone having a crack. And
Jim and Jake were there.
Jim and Jake, yep.
Yeah, there was Ben and Brett from America. They were there. Yeah, it was just a great wee crowd that night, wasn't it? It was brilliant.
And you kindly drove us up to the Corrie Inn, and we got to and we should talk about some of the other accommodation options on the island, but we drove us up to the Corrie Inn, which is obviously a favourite of Jim's. TC did his block party podcast from the picnic grounds by the water there. He phoned back into Solly, sat out there in the wind with his hood up, and then we had dinner. And you came back in the morning at 7 o'clock to pick me up to take me back to the ferry. I'd only just met you.
You were just going back to Troon, were you not, for the golf and on the Friday?
I was sick as a dog, and you picked me up early and dropped me off, and I got the ferry back to go and take some photos and walk around Troon for the day. But just those sorts of memories are. I was fortunate because I know you, but the sorts of things that groups of people do over there that's a little bit less homogenous. That's in and out of big courses and the stuff that we're talking about. It's just great. Arran ice cream. Talk to us about Arran ice cream. The other great.
Well, let's come back in there in a second. In a bit of a. No, you're fine. So, Greg, that Ross, that little bit you just did there is absolutely correct. So, yeah, if I said it was hard to get to, I mean more the perception, because as we're finishing off the golf, tell us about the Arran Golf Pass. And I mean, we talked, Greg, a bit about that whole transition from Ayrshire to you down to Kintyre, which Ross has nicely covered. But tell us a bit about the Golf Pass, Arran Golf Pass.
So the Arran Golf Pass is a fantastic initiative. It's a pass that you can buy that allows you to play every hole on the island, which is 95 holes. You also get the privilege of playing Corrie and McCrae for a second time. So that really you're playing 18 holes at Corrie and McCrae. It is valid for a year of the day you purchase it. And at the time of this recording, it's £175 for 113 holes of golf.
It's amazing value, unbelievable value.
So at the time of us talking here, it's £175. It's a steal. It just makes so much sense that even if you're not sure you're going to play all the holes in the island, you're still better off taking the pass out, so that if you do enjoy it so much, that the option is there to carry on. Because all you would have to do is probably play 5 out of the 7 golf courses, and you're getting value for money for that pass. So if you're coming down for a long weekend, if you live locally in Ayrshire or Glasgow and you come to Arran regularly, you buy the Arran Golf Pass, and it, as I say, it gives you a shot at every hole on the island. It's incredible. Like, I think if you work out what some of the big golf courses, I don't think I'd get a front nine at some of the golf courses in the mainland for £175. So it's incredible. And the beauty of you buying the Arran Golf Pass means that you're sharing the money around all the golf courses. Arran needs all the golf courses to be surviving to still make it an attractive destination for golfers to come and enjoy. So if you buy the Arran Golf Pass, it actually gets split equally amongst the 7 golf courses.
Right.
So it does. It helps the smaller ones out a lot, because Shiskin obviously gets all the day trippers, all the anybody who comes to the island on any duration of a golf trip will have Shiskin included in it. And then after that, people will do a mixture of other different golf courses. With the Arran Golf Pass, doesn't matter what mixture you play, you are contributing to every golf course in the island. So yeah, fantastic. Just on that though, it will rise in price probably over the next few weeks. So yeah, but that doesn't mean to say that they seem to increase the price at the end of March every year. So if you're thinking about coming next year, make sure you get your pass before March to enjoy summer 2027 at 2026 prices, so to speak.
So, Greg, that leads us on to Ross's bit. So your day job is looking after finances and doing the books of you tell us about the company and what it's done. And
yeah, so everything I do, Malcolm, with golf is just a hobby. It is nothing but just a hobby. I do actually have a day job, which I have worked for the same company for the last 23 years, which is Arran Ice Cream, where obviously we make the award-winning Arran Ice Cream. We also have a second company that we run out of the same office called A Taste of Arran, which is really a kind of wholesale business for all food manufacturers on the island. And we kind of pull together all food manufacturers on the island product, and we try and sell them as a one basket sale to wholesalers on the mainland. Arran, for such a small island, has a wealth of food manufacturing on this island. We have ice cream, we have oatcakes, we have cheese, we have chocolate, we have whiskey, we have gin. I'm probably missing something.
That's all the food groups represented right there.
Yeah, my day-to-day job is low-level bookkeeping for Arran Ice Cream. I have been known when it's very busy in the summer to go down onto the tools, and we're a small family-run business. There's only 9 of us that work in the business, so we all have to multitask occasionally. But we sell a lot of ice cream off the island. A lot of people think Arran Ice Cream, we just sell it locally on the island. We have some really good national contracts. We have it into some really good national wholesalers. Anybody pretty much in the whole of Britain can get our ice cream. And we are known to ship a couple shipping containers a year out to Texas in America. So if you're ever in Texas, or if you're listening to us in Texas, get yourself to Central Markets. And I think there's 4 or 5 locations in Texas, and you'll find our ice cream out there.
now
So yeah.
No, on you go.
Sorry.
There you go.
And just 2 weeks ago, the Ice Cream Alliance, which is a UK-based kind of ice cream company, hosts what we class as the Oscars of ice cream. And this last week, we won the best vanilla ice cream in the UK, which is a fairly major achievement because every ice cream company in the UK makes a vanilla flavoured ice cream. There is other categories in there that maybe chocolate chip cookie or something. Not every business in the UK makes different flavours, but everybody makes a vanilla. So the main award is the best vanilla ice cream, and we scooped first prize in that this year, which is brilliant. It's really
Good
good.
Good punnage too. Good work.
It's brilliant, yeah. So the team's absolutely chuffed about it, and a few of the guys went down to Birmingham a few weeks ago to the awards, and I think they were as surprised as anybody to be up on stage lifting, because again, it's like the Oscars. Every other ice cream business is there, and it's like it's the big event. The vanilla waits till the end. It's the last award of the night, and for us to win it, for just a small business on Arran, was just brilliant. Really good.
It's like the best picture Oscar, basically. Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
correct. So it doesn't matter. We now have that award, and nobody can take it away from us.
I mean, that
I
is.
hope it's a David scoop.
African Nations Cup, where they seem to take awards away from people after 6 weeks.
I hope it's a golden scoop on a black base or something.
Oh, it was sitting on my desk, but somebody's moved it, or I could have showed you. I don't know where it's gone. It was there today. Oh, it used to be this massive big trophy, but I think somebody lost it over the last few years, so now they've kind of had to get a new trophy, and it's not so grand. It must be in our. I think it must be in our display cabinet now.
So to win that for vanilla is, if you know anything about food and cooking, I mean that is just the toughest category. There's no hiding place in that. I mean it's one flavor, so it's all about texture. It's that is a fantastic achievement. So we're coming to the end of March, beginning of April. Easter's coming, so the winter's coming to end. It's all beginning to brighten up, and the island's about to burst into life, Greg. So tell us a wee bit about the accommodation. Now, Ross, you've been across a couple. What's your favourite accommodation?
No, the Corrie Hotel. Of course, I had a great night there. Beautiful dinner. Wonderful selection of drinks. Not that I'm a drinker, but the guys that we were with, Jim and TC, had a couple of sampleages from the bar. Great food, and very, very dog friendly. So for me, traveling with my wife and with the dog, anywhere that welcomes dogs, and that's a very popular and progressive thing in Scotland. So it's not alone to Corrie, but I just loved it there, and can't wait to go back. So yeah, but I'm not that familiar with anywhere else, Greg. So what are the top?
So just the Corrie Hotel is very popular with golfers. They seem to really enjoy it up there. The Corrie Hotel was shut for 8 weeks in January and February to go through our major refurbishment. Ross, you'll need to go over. I was in there on Sunday for my lunch, and the whole downstairs area has literally been ripped out and started again. They've put this stunning big whiskey bar in where the breakfast room was, and they have spent a small fortune on it, and it really has transformed the Corrie Hotel. So the Corrie Hotel is very popular with golfers. That's obviously in the village of Corrie. Over near Shiskin, so Shiskin Golf and Tennis Club is actually located in a village called Blackwaterfoot. 2 minutes walk from the first tee at Shiskin is the Kinloch Hotel. That's another very popular one with golfers. One of the, how would you say it, one of the livelier kind of bars at tea time on a Friday, Saturday night. The whole of kind of Shiskin and Blackwaterfoot seem to descend there at 4 or 5 o'clock on a Friday and Saturday night for a few hours. So you always get a really good atmosphere in the bar, and it's a family run hotel, and Robbie and Barbara that run it are just so welcoming to golfers and stuff. So if you're ever kind of overplaying Shiskin for a few days, the Kinloch Hotel's a great option. Back over in the main villages, right next to the ferry terminal, you've got the stunning Douglas Hotel. It's literally a 7-iron from the moment you walk off the ferry. So you don't even need to bring a vehicle to go there. It's a lovely boutique hotel with stunning views over Bronny Bay, up over Goatfell. The rooms are stunning. The food, they have a real intensive bistro menu. and a lovely patio out the front where you can sit and have your dinner after a few days golf. So the Douglas Hotel. The other one that's in Brodick is probably the best hotel we've got, is the Cranny Resort. It's definitely the biggest hotel. It has got 2 separate hotels in its kind of complex. One's classed as a spa resort that's got the leisure facilities, gym, swimming pool. It's got a sports hall, a restaurant, and just, it's probably more of the family side of it. And then they have the Country House Hotel, which is more kind of for couples, I would suggest. But again, it's got its own swimming pool. It's got its own restaurant, couple restaurants in there. And along with the 2 hotels, they've got lodges that sleep maybe 8 people, and they've got romantic kind of getaway pods as well, along with a section of a car park where you can rent out to park your motorhome and have electricity supplied to you. So O'Cranny is definitely the biggest hotel. It's not massively popular with golfers, I would say. It's maybe more if you are coming with your partner, if you are coming with your family, and you are the one that was escaping for a wee while for a few holes of golf. I would recommend the O'Cranny. And if you wanted to base yourself in Lamlash is the village that's just a couple minutes south of Brodick from the ferry terminal. There's a hotel there called the Lamlash Bay Hotel, centrally located right in the middle of the village, very close to a couple really good bars and restaurants with lots of good food options. So yeah, that's the ones I would certainly suggest if you were coming. Corrie Hotel, the Kinloch Hotel, the Douglas Hotel, or Cranny Spa Resort, or Lamlash Bay Hotel would be the 4 kind of hotel options. There is one other kind of self-catering option that's just recently opened up called Arran Shores, which again is based in Lamlash, and they have transformed an old church into 14 stunning apartments, 2/3 bedroom apartments, that if you're happy to kind of provide yourself, cook your own meals and stuff, that's definitely worth looking at as well. That's called Arran Shores. We do also have a host of, in the summer, bed and breakfasts start opening up in the next few weeks. Airbnbs, maybe not as frequent in the winter, but certainly in the summer, there's a lot of people doing Airbnb in the summer. So again, if you're quite happy with the self-catering side of things, you will always find an Airbnb. One thing I would say about the accommodation on Arran, especially now Easter's coming up, the quicker you book the accommodation, A, you'll obviously get the best rates, and B, you'll get the availability. I've had a few guys contact me recently wanting to come down that weekend or this weekend, and I'm like, that's fine, I'll help you out with your golf, but make sure you get accommodation booked. And then they've come back and said, oh, that hotel's not available that weekend, so we're just you have to kind of find the hotel first. I would always recommend golf courses in Arran. You're very, very seldomly restricted to find tee-off times. There'll never really be a time a day that you wouldn't get a game of golf on Arran. So always get your accommodation booked first, and then build your golf around your accommodation.
Perfect. That's brilliant. And then you got the Mara Fish Restaurant, which people talk about beside the Corrie Hotel, which is
Welcome, Matt. That's one of the best we've got. It's 10 seconds walk from the front door of the Corrie Hotel. So if you're ever staying in the Corrie Hotel, make sure and spend one night at Mara. If you're ever playing golf in Corrie, make sure you go to Mara. In fact, if you just come to Arran, just make sure you go to Mara at some point. Even if you're just down for the day, Corrie is only 10-15 minutes drive from Brodick. You will find the time to go to Mara. So again, it's seasonal. It opens next week, I think. So after that, check their socials and stuff, and make sure. The beauty with Mara as well is you can order online. It's one of the few places on Arran that's kind of up with the trends and stuff. So you can order online. Say when you're walking down the 9th fairway at Corrie, you can order online and say you'll pick it up in 10 minutes. And it's more takeaway. They have limited seating place, but it all comes in takeaway containers, and you just go and sit across the road on the beach and watch the world go by. And enjoy some of the best seafood we've got to offer.
Man,
What could be better?
fantastic. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Look, I know we've been going a while, so I actually lost plot as to what time we started, so we must have been doing an hour and a little bit. So just going to start wrapping it up. And of course, you got whiskey, you've got Loch Rann just started a wee while ago, Lag Distillery just started going. There's a raft of other stuff to go and do in Arran. And Greg, what you do for it is fantastic. As you say, a lot of other people are promoting Arran as well. So a massive shout out for that. And you'll find Greg on Instagram at Golf Arran, is it?
It's Golf Arran, yes.
Golf Arran. So I a post out saying we're doing this, and the guy Richard Loudon said, "Can you put me in touch with him?" And that was in about 7 hours. So Greg's already got that message. So as I say, these things work, and please tell your friends about it. From those of you abroad, come in if you hear about ferry problems. Don't panic. Go visit it. And that drive from Ayrshire down to Macrahanish, stopping an hour and just going there. Book a helicopter if you've got a bit more money and go and stay. There's some great accommodation, great golf. Scenery's phenomenal. It is a kind of mini Scotland. Roscoe, any final points?
No, I'm just excited for the ferry. Not the ferry. Sorry, I'll start that again. I'm just excited for the helicopter ride, Dave. That's your business, so I'm sorry I'm sure there'll be a subsequent. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, go.
Just on that, Ross, I actually caddied for. There was two couples come down last year. They were staying at the Carrick, and they had breakfast at the Carrick. They arrived at Shiskin at 8:30 in the morning. We caddied for them. We gave them a lift back to the helicopter that landed 2 minutes away from the golf course. They went over to Macrahanish. They had their lunch at Macrahanish. They played 18 holes at Macrahanish. And I got a text from him to say that was him back at his hotel, the Carrick, sitting in his dinner at 7 o'clock at night. So it's amazing what you can do with a helicopter.
Well, there you go, Dave. That's your task. 1457 Society helicopter golf.
I like
There we go.
It opens a world of possibilities, doesn't it? I would say again, I thought we've talked a bit about the Arran Golf Marathon that we did a couple of times, and I think there's a route to be plotted to try and play golf on as many Scottish islands as possible in a day.
I'm up for that, Russ.
That may require a helicopter, but would be an exceptional way to spend the longest day of the year, wouldn't it?
Get me involved in that as well, Dave. I would love to do something like that.
Right, guys, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Dave, any final points?
No, I think I've said more than enough, to be honest.
Greg, anything else you want to?
I just want to say thanks to all four of you or three of you for allowing me to come on here and kind of talk up Arran. I don't get the chance to do it too much and kind of podcasts like this, and I know you guys have got a great following and a great reach. So yeah, thank you for letting me talk about Arran for an hour and a half. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And finally, don't be strangers. I'd like to see some of you on Arran in the next while.
I will give up my Arran virginity this year.
Is that a promise?
Sure. Yeah. I'll maybe try and get the big Hastings to come across, and we'll shave the beard off on Arran, because he's got to shave my beard off. So that needs to get done somewhere. We'll see.
You want me to pick you up at the ferry, or are you getting a helicopter?
Oh, I got Duck Air. Anyway, a massive thanks to Greg for his fascinating story. Sums up the passion have for their folk and their home in Scotland, and how golf is a real big part of the fabric of society, especially somewhere like Arran, but right across Scotland. Also, big thanks to Dave and Roscoe. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. There's so many great unknown courses throughout Scotland, and very, very few poor ones. So go on the website and have a look and find them. You'll find lots of great info on the website, scotlandgolfbegan.com. Click on the blogs, click on the films, and also go back and listen to our podcasts. You can subscribe for regular newsletters there as well. And remember to join the 1457 Society, founder member, £49, or come and join for free and come and join us in the outings and link up with other like-minded folk and play golf. They all say Mike blinded and things like that after a whiskey or so. And come and join us. You'll find us on social at Where Golf Began, Facebook, Scotland Where Golf Began. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for listening. Swing easy.